Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Sharifah Nadira binti Said Roslan. I from EM1102A. I want to present about policy of education in Malaysia, issue and review. First, the introduction is science gaining independence in 1957. The Federation of Malaysia has focused considerable effort on developing and improving its national education system. This is clearly reflected in a significant financial investment in education, comprehensive education plan and sub-skill policy reform to meet evolving national aspiration and global demand. In fact, the Malaysia education system can be regarded as an example of model developed to support national building and economic growth. While it is certainly true that variation exists across them within the degrees and state across Malaysia, the fact is that the aggregate level, primary level completion rate have continued to increase while school dropout rate have declined. Challenges remain, but as most recent studies indicate, Malaysia is not only on track to achieve the Millennium Development Goal of universal primary education, but will also be close to universal schooling in lower secondary education by 2050. This commendable achievement would not have been possible without the commitment of the government and all education stakeholders in Malaysia. But how does Malaysia stand internationally when compared to the region high performance education system with regard to student achievement? There appear to be room. Education system is challenges to improve not just in terms of achieve and equity, but also in terms of the quality of its outcome. This is, of course, not unknown. The Malaysian government, in its commitment to improving education, Malaysia have continued to look toward the experience of other countries, including its regional neighbour, and will possible to benefit from international perspective. In this regard, UNESCO, with a commitment support improvement, would achieve equity and quality of education system of its member states, will always stand ready to achieve Malaysia in achievement its national goal. The Malaysia Education Policy Review (MEPR) has been a great learning opportunity for all. We say this not just referring to the hard content of this report, the finding, the evidence gathered and recommendation provided. We say this also it referring to the strength appreciation that we have gained for the uniqueness of the Malaysia education system, for the distinct strength and challenges faced, and the need to a suitable Malaysia flavor to any performance. We hope that the MEPR provide the useful contribution to the Malaysia government ongoing effort to strengthen in education system. We also hope the present paper, which in a bright vision of the MEPR report, provide useful reference for the other country to the unique experience of effort developed by Malaysia in this work for version 2020 through information of high quality human resource. Finally, we have been pleased to follow the progress of our staff and their experience in Malaysia throughout the review process. They acknowledge the challenge facing the education system, by they also acknowledge the unique and sprite professionalism of ministry officials, teachers and school leaders, and we share appreciation of the great importance of quality education at all levels. With this alone, we believe will the healthy in the position of Malaysia to achieve the goal is set, and UNESCO stand by our commitment to support Malaysia in every way possible. Next, a background. Many countries are seeking to improve their education system to compete more effectively in what in increasingly acknowledged economy. Globalism means the government are aware of how other economic and education systems are posing. A government may view that effectiveness of such policy borrowing is limited by contextual and cultural difference. The Malaysia Blueprint Ministry of Education 2030 provide as an example of ambition reform plan. The Malaysia Education Blueprint MEB 2030 to 2025 is the country's main contemporary education policy reform document. It set out ambition target to transform the education system so that Malaysia rank among the top 3 of country in the international indicators such as the Program of International Student Assessment (PISA) and the Trend International Mathematics and Science Study (TIMSS) by 2025 from its 2020 position in the bottom quartile. The effectiveness impression of policy intention is critical if such bold aspirations are to be achieved. However, there is evidence in Malaysia Budget Act 2018 and in a Thailand Heliger and Lee 2040 that reform initiative may failure because school level implementation is slower. This policy brief relate to our study on the implementation of education policy reform in Malaysia. Policy impact. There are 3 main factors of education policy reform in Malaysia. First, there is evidence of the impact of globalization manufactured through policy borrowing. This is illustrated by the strong focus on international cooperation in the blueprint and by the aspiration to improve Malaysia's position in global language tables such as PISA and TIMSS. Second, why top-down processes are still dominant in decentralized countries. There is increasing recognizing that consultation with legitimate stakeholders is essential if reform is to be fully understood and accepted. However, there is only limited evidence about the impact of such consultation on the nature of policy reform. Third, there is emerging with recognizing that a one-size-fits-all policy original is it suited to such a diverse country and that a more continuous approach may be necessary to achieve reform objectives. Next, conclusion. If the implement successful, a deliberative dialogue program on education can help bring educators, policymakers and members of the general public together with common goal of ensuring that children receive the best education possible. Deliberative dialogue may be the key to breaking existing adversarial to passive tradition of dealing with difficult education topics. From the dialogue, participants may find themselves develop new relationships and perspectives, find they may approach problem solving with the new enthusiasm and engagements to get involved with the education of their young people. Besides that, education reform between countries may be different due to the characteristics of the national political and social economy establishment within one state. Hence, any kind of proposal of performing education system in Malaysia has been justifiable within the scope of the main vision of the country. In another word, the national policy one way to collaborate to proceed along the line with the vision of the country that has already been accepted by the whole national and through structurally effective government ministry that have main player in the actor of the policy formulate and implement the policy effectiveness and efficiently. When they implement the policy is a good, the government will achieve the objective of the policy and it will show the effectiveness of the policy to all students and employees that involved in education. It also can make the awareness among the society that the importance of the education in our life. That's all for me. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.